Ladies and gentlemen, my face is not on screen right now,
No, it's a
but it
ghost.
will be right
A
now.
spooky ghost.
Oh, wait. Guys, I think I
Come
have
on.
something.
What
I
do you
think I
got?
have something.
Whoa. Those
Look
T-Rex
at
glasses?
that. It is Lightning Round. It is Kevin Tompkins. It is Britt Flinn. It is Andrew Cooper. We are here on Fantasy Alarm YouTube on Better Sports Network. We just saw each other at the expo, but Coop, this is your first appearance since. Sorry, I mean to call you Papa Coop now. I think we've
Right.
got to start getting that into the Lightning Round lexicon. Coop, your first Lightning Round appearance since having little Laney J. How are you, my friend? How is dad life?
Yeah, so it's not Papa Coop. The baby's gonna call me Old Pappy. I think that's what we settled on.
Like the bourbon.
Just like the bourbon, dude. Yeah, like 10-year. She's gonna call me 15-year Pappy Van Winkle. That's what I would like my child to call me. So I'd like you guys to do the same. And really, honestly, yeah, I missed a couple episodes, but let's talk about Britt, dude. She does one show on ESPN today, and now she's just gonna show up late to the stream, waltzing in, all fancy. So what's the deal, bro? You big time now, or what's going on?
I would never big time you guys. It was more of I had to pee.
That's what it was, dude. Yeah, well,
Honesty is
before
the
your other
best
shows, okay?
policy, some
you
say.
know,
Well, that's the thing about radio. You can still pee, right? Like this is video, so save that. But how did it go? How was your big ESPN debut today?
it was really great. We're going to be doing it every Tuesday throughout the fantasy football season. It's Fantasy Football Lounge.
Ooh.
Kind of surreal that, I'm like on a radio show. But yeah, it was really fun, really great. You guys can listen to it. We posted the link all over Twitter, X, whatever it's called. So you should go check it out if you haven't.
Awesome. We got people trickling in here too. Brian, what's up, dude? Is Brian in the mock draft? Is it anyone in the chat? I want to hear from people in the chat who are in the mock. Is Sellers is in the mock, right?
Sellers is
Yes.
picking up prescriptions and dog food. I don't know if
Boy,
he's home yet.
No, he's in the chat. I never know what Sellers, because he can finds a way to get in the chat no matter what chores he's doing, whether he's mowing the lawn or doing the dishes. Like Sellers is.
We're delivering mail.
He's here,
He's
man.
still in the chat.
Yeah, he's a G, dude. So should we get going? Are we ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm ready to start this. So we've been doing best ball drafts pretty much all off season. We've been, of course, our friends at Underdog use promo code Fantasy Alarm to get up to a $100 deposit match, and we'll throw that in there. But today we are doing our first season long mock. Now I know you guys are going to be starting your draft soon. It is draft season. Redacted SZN, as I was told. Not allowed to say that, but season long drafts are starting your home leagues. So what perfect time then to show you what the difference is between season long and best ball, because we have a lot of differences between the two, whether you feel comfortable about starting some of these people in fantasy when you actually have to set them in your lineup versus getting their scores in.
Hell yeah. So, okay. So we got Michael Chasko. He looks like he is picking 6. He's in the chat. We've got
Coop, you're on the clock, by the way.
Yeah. I got it all figured out. I'm actually as the 101. On this particular mock, I've been drafting a lot of Justin Jefferson, even Jamar Chase at times. So I'm going to actually start this one with Christian McCaffrey. I want to see what it looks like now, especially now that there's a group of guys that I was confident taking at the 2-3 turn that I no longer am confident. Guys like Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, even that Jonathan Taylor's even in a weird spot. Like now I used to really like the running backs in the 2-3 turn if I picked 101. Now maybe not so much. So I'm going to see what it looks like now with a CMC start. And how do I mute this? Because I cannot have that sound going for this entire draft.
This little button right here up top, the top right, the second one. There you go.
I got it. Nope, still doing it.
That's why I'm on the phone, because I was like, I'm not dealing with settings.
So, we're seeing, CMC is kind of a little bit of an outlier, but, nothing wrong with that. Certainly if you're a fan of running backs, but Jefferson, Chase Hill, Bijan, the Bijan steam after, his first preseason game, that might be a little bit real. People are going to be taking him upwards into the top 3, 4, or 5 picks, just wanting to get a piece of the young, sexy rookie that we all love.
Right. Yeah. So Brian Ramona, which is Brian? Is he Voico? Which he's got to be. Yeah, or unless he's Sergeant Slaughter. Which one are you in the draft, Brian? I want to know who's who here. I want to know who's who of these troublemakers in here.
Yes.
I know. Recognize.
If you are in the chat and you are in this draft, you must reveal yourself.
Yeah, that's right. No sneaking around.
I love how Sellers picked right next to me so that he could snipe me.
Oldest trick in the book. Look at you, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Britt. Talk us through it. This is full PPR, obviously, right?
Yes.
Well, because Sellers took Nick Chubb. That's who I was planning on taking. And of course, he picked the 11 spot because he is a gremlin. But other than that, I'm, Derrick Henry, I'm fine with him. I'm pretty out on Taylor and Josh Jacobs. So I'm just going to wait until that turn comes back around. And thanks, honey.
Sellers just here for the chaos.
Yeah, I like the pick by Jonathan Good. A lot of good picks so far. And yeah, I knew that Hamburglar was Josh there. So pretty chalk start so far. Interesting. Okay, that was the name I thought was going to go. Barkley Diggs. I love that start. And honestly, Diggs is a guy that I've been taking in the first round. Like with one of Britt's picks, I probably would have taken Diggs. Britt, as far as obviously it's he's splitting hairs with AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson, but anything that worries you about Diggs that kind of has him behind those other guys, or is it just like you have them back to back to back and you just pick it that way?
Man, looking at how discombobulated the Bills looked in that preseason game, and yes, I know it was only preseason, but like Josh Allen was making bad decisions. Their line looked terrible. They didn't really bring anybody else in. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about Diggs, especially at his first round ADP. He's always been very solid, but he's also been a very big touchdown producer. Depending on how the Bills' offensive efficiency goes, I don't know if he ends up finishing at first round ADP this season. I would rather take Brown and Wilson, who have looked very, very good. The yards after catch that AJ Brown can offer, I like that a little bit more. I just can't do it with Diggs. And they're still talking about that animosity between him and Josh Allen. Like, if it's not a thing, stop talking about it.
Right.
But since y'all keep talking about it, there's something there.
Yeah, so it looks like Brian Ramona is not in, and I knew Bob Voico was Voico, so I don't know why I thought it was different. But Brian, if you're not in this one, if you want to be in with us for a best ball, we're doing a best ball draft right after this. I actually have one spot open for underdog. If you want in on that, DM me on Twitter, and we'll give you that last spot in that one. All right, so I'm on the clock here, and the guys I was hoping would be there are there. So I'm going to take them both right now. See how this looks. A little big boy turn, a little thick boy turn there with T. Higgins and DK Metcalf. Let's go. It feels boring. It feels fairly boring, but I don't know. I'm a little scared. I would have taken Derrick Henry there if he was there, but I'm a little scared of Taylor or Jacobs. Kev, I know you're typically a 0 RB guy, but if you were going to take one of those two fellas, Jacobs or Taylor right now, both kind of holding out a little bit. One now looking for a trade. A little scary.
A little bit. I'd probably go Jacobs just because we know some of that risk is gone. He is going to report back to camp. So I'm fine with Jacobs, especially with that 2-3 turn. I got 10 seconds. So I'm going to go the Impemba special here, though. Jalen Hurts action. Don't usually go lead quarterback in the third, but it's Jalen Hurts.
It's there, and you get the stack too.
Yeah.
Although this is mock draft season, not best ball season, so
I know.
I don't know. I feel like that's I mean, well, as you're seeing in this mock versus the best balls, where especially the big tournaments, quarterbacks should fall a little bit. Now there's still some of that carryover, but it's not a world where they're all going in the second round. We should see a little bit of a slide, but it's kind of hard because the people that draft Chase and Higgins, Burrow made it past this time. He's not making it past next time. That's just human nature, right? So that kind of pushes everybody up, steams everybody up a little bit.
Yeah, and there's no shot that Hurts would come back to me at the 409. Plus, one thing that's very important too is kind of separating best ball brain from season long brain.
Right.
Like you've got to be able to kind of separate that and kind of put that entire ADP set. If you've been playing best ball for the last 6 months, like I pretty much have throughout, like separating that into, all right, now do I feel good about I like Christian Watson in best ball, but do I feel comfortable putting him into a season-long lineup as my wide receiver too? Like these are the decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that nobody mentioned JSN's injury when Coop drafted DK Metcalf, because he said that it was boring, but I think that the JSN injury kind of changes that and makes it a lot less boring. I knew Sellers was going to take Gibbs there. What a
great pick.
butthole.
Great pick.
What a butthole.
Sellers, putting you on blast. And the thing is, dude, DK Metcalf, his role was already pretty. I mean, of course, the target distribution could be affected, but his role was pretty set. Like he's going to be a split end. It's kind of JSN versus Lockett for that other full-time role. But again, yeah, if JSN's going to miss time, then it's, obviously more consolidated between Metcalf and Lockett. The thing is, with this injury, it might set back the timeline of if JSN can take over the full role from Lockett, and he might not be able to at all. It might just be like a early Chris Godwin where they had Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson, and Godwin kind of had to wait his turn, had to be the third guy out there. Nathan Janke of Pro Football Focus pointed out that JSN was not really playing when they went to 12 personnel, even with Lockett and Metcalf not playing. So there is a possibility that they just kind of want him to early on play that slot role. And if he's not going to have the rest of the offseason and maybe a couple of weeks to establish himself, it's going to be Evans and Lockett in those roles. So it does kind of suck for him there. But it's without a timeline, it's hard to do anything about it. And if my computer doesn't stop beeping when every person makes a pick, even though I have it muted, then I'm going to do something about it by putting my forehead through the screen momentarily.
Well, dad life will suit you well when little Laney J is screaming, at all hours of the night. So
that I understand. That I at least understand. Why I have now clicked the mute button. There's no more mute buttons to be clicked over here. Why, Sleeper? Why?
Sleeper is a oxymoron.
Cruel mistress.
No sleep with the beeps.
That's right, dude. No sleep beeping. Scamp knows the deal. Toronto Dave knows the deal. Hal doesn't know the deal because there's no underdog in Michigan. Michigan's one of the weird ones. Like I get why Vegas doesn't have it, but I don't know. Michigan holding out.
Weird stuff. The whole state legislature thing. But Coop, you are back. I mean, are you gonna? You're taking 2 running backs. I already know who you're taking. Never mind. I shouldn't even ask.
Game's easy. Oh man, they took Aaron Jones, so now I have to do something else.
No, you have to take another Kenneth Walker.
No, I'm not taking Kenneth Walker.
No,
I'm taking a wide receiver, and then I'm taking a running back with an injured groin.
It's a mild one though. I think
it's mild.
That's fine.
Mild groin Sanders is who I'm taking. There.
Mild groin Sanders.
Yes, mild groin injury Sanders. So yeah,
it do be like that.
It do be like that. Feeling good. Waller there. Love that pick. His ADP's been creeping up. I've been checking the different platforms. He was tight end 7. Then he slowly got into the tight end 6 range after I tweeted out that the over-under touchdowns for Dallas Goedert set at 3.5, and he only has 8 end zone targets over the last 3 years total. So then he moved up to that spot. And then now, ever since the ultimate tight end guide has dropped, he's moved all the way up to tight end 4. I have him tight end 3, so there's still some late holdouts out there, but his ADP went from round 7, 8, 9 all the way up to right around pick 60. So the 5-6 turn. And as you saw just now, Darren Waller, tight end 4 here. So if you want Waller, you got to pay up now. I'm willing to pay up round 5, but I really can't go into round 4 personally. I don't know about you guys.
I saw him. We did the Dirty Laundry League last night, and he went as tight end 3. Lauren Carpenter actually took him as tight end 3. So he's getting steamed massively.
Yeah, I don't feel great. Oh, sorry. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'll expound on Waller after.
Question in the chat. Angie Hatfield, legendary chat member and friend of the family, says, "Hi guys, I'm OTC in WAF best ball. Do you like Jacobs, Najee, or Gibbs? Drafting from 11, 3rd round. Started Barkley and Mahomes. Best wide receiver is Keenan Allen. Already feel like I have too many shares already. I wouldn't worry too much about shares. Just draft the best players when they're available. I personally would probably go Keenan Allen there, unless Britt wants to convince everyone to draft Gibbs instead. So, Britt, what do you think? Keenan Allen or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah, I'm about Gibbs just because of the lack of pass catching options on Detroit right now. I don't care if he doesn't play out of the slot. He's going to be incorporated into that passing game. They're both going to have a role.
Now, there's the WAP. That's the Women of Fantasy Football League, right? Is that full PPR?
I actually don't know the scoring. Okay. I am not in that. I was unable to participate. Is the gauntlet of shows today?
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
break the tie.
I mean, I'd probably go Allen there.
Yes.
Just because because if you go Jacobs, if you go Gibbs, you're staring down the barrel of like wide receiver 1 Chris Godwin or like Tyler Lockett, which I mean, I don't mind either of those guys really, but like as the top wide receiver in your group, if you're starting that way, doesn't leave me feeling good.
Yeah, it's half PPR, tight end premium. So okay, maybe Gibbs. I don't know. I think I still like Keenan Allen there. It's too early to draft backup running backs.
Gibbs is not a backup running back.
Sorry, it's too early to draft 1Bs to the 1As or whatever we want to call it.
Blah, blah, blah.
We have 2 starting running backs.
Yeah, it worked with oh my God.
It worked
with Ingram and Kamara.
It's too easy to yeah. I mean, too early to draft the running back that runs out to give a high five to David Montgomery when he scores the touchdowns. I'm sure they'll have some fun.
You know what? That shows cohesiveness.
I'm sure they'll have some fun dance for when David Montgomery scores all the touchdowns.
His line's only set at 6.5.
Only, yeah. Far cry from the 18 of last year that Jamal Williams had in that role, and they let Jamal Williams walk and paid David Montgomery more money. But honestly, I truly think that that if I was going to pick a team this year to be the 2017 Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara team, it would be this one. Like conditions are kind of perfect for it, right?
I want to answer this question from Scampers real quick because I just got a notification from the MRI. Sources say that there's optimism for week 1 for Terry McLaurin, more day-to-day than anything, with the scans showing no major injury. So
turf toe is always scary, though. It's way scarier than it sounds.
That can linger. That can linger for months.
It sounds like I didn't actually know about that when I picked him. It sounds like stubbed toe, but it's actually like destroyed ligaments in your toe.
Yeah. Well, but if the MRI showed that it's not that bad, that it's like a day-to-day thing, like I trust the science.
I mean,
that's
Jahan Dotson got 5 straight targets yesterday.
Well, that's an aside from the turf toe. I've been saying it all season long that, I mean, even if you look at my best ball fades back in like, what was it, March, I was fading McLaurin at ADP because I don't think that Sam Howell can have that ADOT to consistently get him the ball to justify his ADP.
I don't understand the science, but I trust it.
I trust it.
That's all. That's where was that take in 2020? Anyway,
all the science I don't understand. Just my job.
How about my boy Jahan Dotson though? 5 straight targets from Sam Howell.
He looked great.
Give me Michael Pittman and give me Javonte Williams.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you see him get 5 targets the other day? I thought he had a hurt knee. Seems like he's fine.
Did not peg you for a Javonte, bro. I thought that was like a Madison pick.
Oh, I was way off. I was way off Javonte Williams until he played in a preseason game when he didn't even need to and got 5 targets.
Everybody's been playing in those games. Everybody needs to play in those games.
Why would he play though? Of all the people, why would he play unless he was fully healthy?
Ooh, Zippy going a little bully here on tight end.
Makes me sick.
Makes me sick.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I know that there's going to be a split to some degree, but there's a split among most of these guys. Like we either need to pick split backs we think are good or backs that might not even be good on bad teams. I guess, I mean, you can still make arguments for a few of the guys on the board. I don't want to name drop during the draft, but for right now, I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Joe Lombardi, could be doling out the targets to all these running backs, and Javonte Williams could be in a real good spot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because Javonte Williams could have, I mean, if he's healthy, why wouldn't he be the goal line back? Why wouldn't he be the back on 2-minute drills? Like, I don't see any reason why you would use Samaje Perine for anything other than to just give him a break.
Because he's better.
Right. Or like
Samaje
a
Perine's better
random
than
like
Javonte
2-minute
Williams?
offense thing. That's it.
I'm just choosing violence right now. But Perine has been good. Even
When?
as a backup.
He was great last year.
He has
Was
been
he
good.
great, or was he just there?
When Mixon was not there, yeah. Perine
He's
was
fine.
like legit.
He's
Remember
been
when he
playing
lost?
fine.
He
Remember when
averaged
he
like
lost the Super
19
Bowl?
fantasy points a game.
Remember when he lost the Super Bowl? That was sick.
I do actually.
That was awesome.
You know what? That was not his fault.
Samaje Perine he's fine. He's fine. But Javonte Williams is a better player.
I agree, 100%. So yeah,
Can we talk about sellers literally taking Chubb, taking Gibbs, taking Gibson? Like, this is, how dare you guys let him in this draft?
The whole gang, dude. And we let everyone pick their spot too, and he did. You were already in there, and he picked right next to you. So
sounds like that's a
no
conversation.
Sugar tonight.
Those are the rules.
Spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, as some say.
Oh,
Don't know what that
crap.
has to do with this draft, but sure. Madison.
It was an auto pick. I thought I had somebody in my queue, and I didn't.
Great pick.
Oh,
Yeah.
So Jonathan Goad took the two guys I was alluding to, so now we can talk about them. It's like, do I take Javonte Williams in a situation that I kind of like and trust, or do I take these guys who kind of, we don't like to predict injuries, but I mean, James Conner's never played a full season, and we think those teams are going to be bad. That's the problem I run into there. But there is a world where the upside is higher for guys like Conner and Akers, right? If there's a split backfield on one team and they just get all the carries, but we'll have to see. It's interesting that Kyren Williams was held out. So they held out Cam Akers. They also held out Kyren Williams this week. They were like, you know what? Those two jobs are set. And a lot of good news about Kyren Williams. Best news since before he did the combine and ruined his draft stock. But, I'm just not. Oh, dude, I figured out why it was beeping. I just figured it out.
Well, it only took you 8.5 rounds, so
I had the screen open twice, and I had it muted on one, but it was open on a different tab.
Oh, Boise, Idaho.
God, that's great. That is
egg on my face.
that is fantastic. That is, the silence is beautiful. It's deafening.
I guess I can draft running back here. I've got enough wide receivers. Well, I don't, but
I don't, but
do you ever just like do a mock draft where you just do it a little differently than you always do it? Like, how about tonight? We do the fantasy line mock draft. What if you were to just do like something different?
Full on robust?
Why not? See how it looks.
Hey, I've
challenge yourself.
I've drafted I drafted Gibbs in the last mock.
Yeah, but this is an RB2. I want you to start two. I want you to start 2 RBs back to back.
I will start 3 back to back, and I will not draft another one the entire draft.
Nice. It'll make your write up easier.
I already do that on Underdog.
Yeah, but do it for the FA mock draft tonight.
Great. Everybody knows what I'm doing. They're going to snipe me, and I'm going to see like Devonta Smith in the 4th, and I'm going to be like, my eyes.
I'm gonna do a little stacky stack turn here.
That's the Jim Coventry special right there.
That's right, dude. Nicest guy in all of fantasy football.
Really is. I mean, I've not seen anybody draft one player so much as Jim drafts Deshaun Watson.
There it is, dude. Well, Jim is so nice that it makes up for the like not niceness of Watson. It's like yin yang, right?
Right. It's like throwing Care Bears on like the inner city of Chicago.
Right, exactly. It's it's perfectly.
I don't know what that analogy was, but
I let you go with it. But it was a little weird. But
everybody gets one.
Perfectly balanced. Yeah, everybody gets one.
The Spider-Man rule.
Britt, are you drafting any Deshaun?
No. Which is unfortunate because I did have to devil's advocate to argue for him in the player debate series on Fantasy Alarm. but I can't find myself doing it. There's much better value out there.
How'd you feel about your argument? Did you do a good job?
I always do a good job. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, it felt a little icky. But I don't know. There's nothing tangible about Deshaun Watson to say that he's going to be better, aside from the fact that, oh, he's got another year to shake off the rust. He's got another year in the system. Like, there's nothing tangible that we've seen that can actually make an argument for him being better. So that's the thing for me. Or like, he used to be good. That kind of situation.
Right. The prevailing argument is, well, he can't be as bad as he was at the end of last season.
That's the Russell Wilson argument.
Pretty much. Yeah, it really is. But there's also adults in the room now that are running the ship in Denver. So I think that might kind of lead that argument and give it a little more credence. But yeah, all you have to hang your hat on in Cleveland is, well, even if he's like 80% of what he was in Houston, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Which it does not feel great to bank that on like QB9 or whatever he's going at. It does not feel good.
It's a little dicey. What is the over under on number of games before the Bucs put in Trask for Baker Mayfield, who was named the Week 1 starter in Tampa Bay? Big good lines. 4.5.
I'm gonna do the Tom Brady.
Yeah, 4. I'd say about 4. I mean, when's their bye? I don't even remember. What's their bye? Hold on.
I missed the question.
It's week 5, isn't it?
If it's week 5, it might be after that. Hold on. Let me look and see here. Godwin. Yeah,
it's week 5.
Yeah.
They're gonna just have like a come to Jesus meeting in week 5. Like, bro,
it's gonna be the
what are you gonna do?
It's gonna be the Happy Gilmore or like the I was wrong, you were right. I'm stupid.
Now Sellers is taking my players too.
See, you guys were the ones who let him in, man.
These drafts are sharp. It's good to do these because it's kind of like drafting with your friends from home, right? It's like I've done so many drafts with Voico and Hamburglar and Rock and Roll Ray so far that like of course, you know, Michael Chasko's in all of our he hangs out for a lot of these shows. So of course he's going to take Michael Thomas and Rashad White and Joe Mixon and the guys we like. So it keeps you on your toes, these drafts. It's good to draft with people that take it seriously and also know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about how ADP is a construct, and we're definitely seeing that here. People are getting their guys, and that's what they're going to do in your home leagues.
Yep. Well, I still get who I want, so I'm good.
Oh, just wait. Sellers will make sure to throw some wrenches in there somewhere.
I wanted to take Kincaid. I should have taken Kincaid there because I have him ranked ahead of Joke. I do. I got lost in the stack, in the turn, and the abs, and I couldn't let Njoku go there. But I do like the upside of Kincaid higher. I think there's a world where Dalton Kincaid has the best rookie fantasy season of all time at tight end, and I think we might be living in that world.
I did say yesterday on I believe one of your shows that I am now a converted Dalton Kincaid bro. I've held out for months now, so will you guys welcome me with open arms into the Dalton Kincaid family?
You're in. Yeah, although you might have to get hazed a little. Months. I think you spent like 2 months slandering him, but as long as you're in August, you're in. That's my policy.
Better than October.
Yeah. Also, anybody in the chat want in on so right after this, we're doing a little double feature, little real draft mock draft to give you a look, and then we're doing another right after this best ball draft. Anybody from the chat, we have 1, potentially 2 spots open because somebody was supposed to join but hasn't joined yet. Does anybody want in? If you do want in, shoot me a DM on Twitter at Kube Fiasco, and I'll get you in that draft. That's going to be right after this. Me, Howard, Britt, maybe Kev doing a live best ball draft. So if you guys want in on that, we have 1, maybe 2 spots left. Shoot me a DM, and we'll get you in there. All right. Use promo code ALARM if you haven't signed up yet. They'll match up to $100, 100% of whatever you deposit. Put in 25, they give you 25. You put in 100, they put in 100. So over on Underdog, you use promo code ALARM, and you can draft with us. You can draft with Howard Bender. He's famous. Britt Flinn was on ESPN this morning. Famous. Me, I'm just a guy, but I'm in there and I'm hanging out too. So get in that draft now. Send me a DM. Brian, I see you. You got one of the spots. There's potentially one spot left.
Coop, you got 2 seconds.
To you what?
Take
I already said my cue. Oh no, I didn't. Perfect. I definitely wanted AJ Dillon.
That's a Coop back.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna take which of these injured wide receivers do I want?
Juju Smith Poopster.
I'm gonna take
God.
Dude,
he's gone. Never mind. Sorry.
I did want Juju. That's why I thought my cue was would save me there. Rashad Bateman with the foot injury. Why not? Interesting that Allen Lazard played. I was looking for news on this. So Garrett Wilson got the night off. Pretty much all the starters got the night off. Corey Davis didn't play, but I saw someone say that he might have had a personal issue, and that's why.
Mhm.
But they made Allen Lazard play. So what the heck was up with that?
Well, they let Mims go. They let everybody else go.
Why?
But shouldn't he have the day off? Like they give Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, pretty much the entire offensive line. The only guy that they had one of the guys play that changed position at offensive line, but like everyone pretty much got the day off, but they made Allen Lazard play. Is he not a starter or what's going on?
He's definitely a starter.
Maybe he's just a baller. Maybe he was just like, maybe he wanted to play.
Maybe.
He just has too much heart.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know about heart, but anyway, we're blazing through this thing. We're gonna be talking about some of these teams here for the next little while once this ends, because we are only going 15 rounds, by the way.
Yeah, it's like that's typically what your hometown league is, right? Like it's 1 QB, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a flex, kicker, defense, and then
we're not drafting kicker or defense in this. Also
5 bench spots or so. So then we're probably going to go a little deeper than your typical hometown league. I mean, how many rounds is your like hometown league?
About this 15, 16 max. Usually 5 or 6 bench spots.
Yeah, 6. My biggest one is now a 14-team league, and 6 bench spots really leaves nothing out there on the waivers.
But I don't know. That's just how I like it, but
me too. I like it too because I'm like deep in this stuff, but the guys in my league don't like it. They like to be able to
pick up Samaje Perine on waivers,
paper over their mistakes, paper over their inefficiencies.
Someone's going to drop Jahmyr Gibbs when he gets 2 targets and 20% of the carries.
That's not happening.
No, I know it's not happening, but you know that there are leagues where if something like that happens, that happens.
Oh yeah, the overreaction.
Like somebody dropped like Garrett Wilson in the league last year in like a paid league that I was in. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. There goes all my fab.
Mm-hmm.
All right, nice. Bob Voico is going to join us in the underdog draft, so I think we are good.
Hooray! Love it.
We're good until one of the random Redditors that didn't respond to me clicks the link, and then the draft starts in like 5 minutes.
Right.
Those dudes unreliable. Actually, there are going to be 2 newcomers from Reddit that are joining us. One, he's excited. It's his first best ball ever. I had a little one-on-one chat with him about some strategy, but Lord,
damn it, I was going to take Chig.
Lord Vader in the next draft is going to be his first best ball draft, that's going to be fun.
Nice. Very excited to have Lord Vader.
Yeah, me too. Pumped to see what he's got.
Yeah. Oh man, we're all like silent because we're thinking. Can we talk about how much steam Deuce Vaughn is getting? Like,
yeah, dude,
he has gotten steamed like crazy.
The little engine that could.
But like he had that one like 14-yard run right out of the gate against Seattle, and then that was it. and he's still getting so much steam.
Dude, honestly, probably the best RB4 in the league.
Yeah, I really don't get it. Like I know that his story is great. I know that he's shown off in training camp, but that's not going to get it done in fantasy. And he's going in like 13th to 15th round sometimes. Like do you guys make sense of any of that?
No. Who's still drafting Dawson Knox, dude? That is nonsense behavior. Like, what is he doing?
You're going to get auto-drafted Dawson Knox.
What is he doing on my screen? Yeah, it was getting close, actually.
Oh, man.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, Deuce. You know what is interesting? We've been talking about DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. Who knew the answer might just be friggin' Ken Gainwell?
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking Rico Dowdle, dude. Are you, Britt? Rico Dowdle, that's what we're doing?
You know, somebody in the Kings Classic auction nominated him very early on.
Yeah, and if they got him
like
for
$1,
$1,
yeah.
If they got him for $1,
that was a real thing.
Geez, dude. Yeah.
Wasn't it Bob?
I'm liking him. I think he's 2. I think he's ahead of Malik Davis now.
Gotta be.
I don't even know how that running back room is going to shake out. I think, now that Zeke's gone, they've got to sign somebody who's good in pass pro. And the only guy left out there who's good in pass pro is Fournette. Or they trade for Jonathan Taylor, which would absolutely tilt everybody on their heads.
That would be, oh my God, dude. Even though I'm in on Tony Pollard this year, I would gladly sacrifice every share of Tony Pollard I have just to go on Twitter and just tag Marcus Mosier and Jacob Sanderson and be like, oh no, it happened again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just like
we suck again.
10 years from now, they'll still be like Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, yeah. Oh my goodness, man. But Tony Pollard was good last year. That's the thing, is that he was definitely worth his ADP last year. So
he was in the 8th or 9th round last year, though. He's going like in the 1st or 2nd this year.
Now he is. Yeah. Well, obviously,
there's sellers with Gainwell.
Oh, yeah, man. Ray, because I'm amazing at this. That's why I took Nico there.
I'm gonna put this back up. Just
or did you know that because we've done 15 drafts together?
I'm going to put this back up just because it's a kind of a misconception about when we talk about these backup running backs. If Pollard goes down, he's a league winner. In like 85 to 90% of these backfields, when the top guy goes down, it's not just a 1-for-1. One back is going to be taking these carries that are going to be left behind. It's going to be more likely committee. What you want to find is who's getting the most high value touches in that. So that's what I look to, and Deuce Vaughn could probably get a lot of those high value touches, but I mean, it's not going to be just one guy. And that you can say that about a lot of backfields. If
Tony Pollard goes down and they make Deuce Vaughn at 165 pounds, 5'5", the full-time featured back, I'll eat every piece of glass in this room. How about that?
That's true.
That is aggressive.
There's a lot of pictures on that wall. That's what I'm saying. It's not happening. He might have a bigger role, and maybe he could be a quote-unquote league winner, but there's no chance that they just say, you're the guy and you're the only guy. You know what I mean? His dad, who's a scout there, wouldn't even allow it. He'd be like, no. That's too much work for Deuce.
Not on my watch. That ain't going to happen.
Oh, man.
Like, I guess it'd be one thing, like Alexander Madison, like he had already established himself as that job. Samaje Perine, they had already gotten to the point where they had seen what they had and were comfortable with just those two guys. That's definitely not what's going on in Dallas. He's not even, as far as the depth chart goes, he might not even be like second on the depth chart. You know what I'm saying?
Like if Austin Eckler goes down, that's going to be like the grossest committee. That's like what we all hate because nobody likes drafting or rostering Josh Kelly. I mean, that's pretty much who your option is right now. So, I mean,
Dude, we're already in the last round. There's like 17 players I still want. This player I love. This is my last round. Alec Pierce, my last round pick, Britt. How about that?
I'm proud of you.
Pretty good.
I'm glad it all came together for you.
He's not, we really bounced back from that AJ Dillon auto pick. But there's still guys, like I'll tell you, we'll see how it shakes out because I know there's guys you like left, Britt, and obviously Kevin Tompkins likes the grossest running backs. There's probably like 17 guys that Tompkins would have as his RB2 still out there.
I could go another 15 rounds on running backs.
You could start. You could pick your RB1 and 2 from this crew. I bet.
Probably.
You got Jake Ferguson?
Yeah, consider me a little Ferguson bro. I'm okay with that.
Fergie?
Last round pick. I would have liked Musgrave, but I'll take Ferguson.
Does Jake Fergalicious makes you go loco?
About loco, but I mean, I like the fact that he's probably gonna be out there.
Isn't that the song, Britt?
65-70% of routes, and then you can see what he does with them. See if he can play. Chigakonkwo, I'm more on him now because Pat Crane has done. Pat Crane has done a lot of. Dude, you're killing me.
Fergalicious definition, make them boys go loco. That's a song, no?
Oh, it is. It is.
Oh, sorry.
What about 14 seconds too long? But
you were saying something. I think I actually hit the lyrics exactly right.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I know. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, Chigakonkwo.
F to the E to the. I'm sorry, dude. Okay.
I'm done.
No, you're back. You're back.
And we're done with this draft. Look,
okay.
We can go through some of these teams here because, and again, thank you to everybody who did get in here. We still got some time, so we can certainly talk through some of these starts. Like just looking at the board, like not counting yourselves. I'm not going to count myself, even though I really want to. Best 5 picks on the board as far as like the best 5 picks start.
First 5. Britt, I'm real quick while we're thinking about that. Britt, I'm surprised you didn't take Josh Downs' very last pick.
Well, I already took Tank Dell, so.
Oh, okay. You got enough.
Got enough. I took Dell and Mechie, just see which one pans out and then chunk the other one off to waivers. But I definitely wanted a piece, especially with as much as Dell is rising in ADP.
There's a lot of good teams here. One team that looks exactly like a team I would draft is Gingerbeard from the 2 spot with Jefferson, Ramondre. Though, I don't know, Ramondre, it's tough to still draft him there with the Zeke signing. That's the one that maybe, but still, I like him. Amari Cooper, I love. Aaron Jones, good. Darren Waller, I like. And then even if you go to Mike Evans, another guy that I'm still drafting from time to time. So that's the one that I do like to start on that one. What do you guys think?
I'm probably looking to rock and roll Ray, Lamb, Amon-Ra, Debo, then Lamar and Dobbins, and then just peeling off 4 straight running backs there. Like, it's a pretty good start. I mean, that's a really good bet on the Baltimore backfield and Lamar Jackson still having the massive running, advantage, even though we know obviously Todd Monken offense going to be passing, but still.
I would have liked to see Ray get like Kincaid or Schultz or Njoku or Freiermuth, just somebody from that range. Just drafting only Komet is like, that's just saying I'll figure it out in the wire, right? That's like saying F it, we'll do it live, Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Sellers because he kept sniping all of my people.
Yeah, Sellers is your team.
Yeah, so. Pretty much,
basically.
So Britt going she has a 2-team strategy here with 1/6 of the draft. A lot of capital there.
Your team came out really good too, Britt. Jonathan Taylor. I like the Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. I mean,
it feels a little dusty, but these guys keep producing. So until they show signs of not producing, I mean,
and you still got Pitts. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, Pitts, Dak. The Madison pick was an auto pick. Wasn't a fan of that, but I mean, where I got him, it's fine.
So with this wrist injury for the wrist surgery that JSN had, like around what player? Because he was going consistently with like Deontay Johnson and maybe Mike Williams, that group of players, but like where should he be going? Like a little bit lower, maybe into like the, I don't know. I wouldn't say the Courtland Sutton range or Treylon Burks range, but I'd say maybe after Dotson, which did happen here, but like, I don't know. What do you guys think about where he should land now?
I think he was going too high to begin with as much 12 personnel as Seattle runs. Right. His injury history, he had that one good season at Ohio State. Where'd Kevin go? No. Oh, because I get it. But no, with his injury history at Ohio State, he had that one good year. We know that he's talented, but it's going to take him a little while to learn this system. And he's probably going to be the odd man out on 2 wide receiver sets. Now with this wrist injury, it's going to take him even longer to learn the system. I think people are reading too much into talent when it comes to redraft. In Dynasty, it's fine. Like, he's going to have a role in Dynasty. But in redraft, we're just expecting too much out of him too fast.
Right. It's like Chris Godwin, where people loved him and then they hated him. And then for the third round breakout, they loved him again. And I think that is maybe what might happen with JSN. With a guy like Jahan Dotson, though, like, he immediately earned that full-time role. He was playing like 97% of the snaps right away. And Curtis Samuel was the guy coming out of the game. Like, that was from the rip. Right. So, you had Terry on one side, Jahan on the other. That's what you want to see. I'm just not sure JSN's built like that. He just needs to be that way better than Tyler Lockett. And the other part you have to remember is that Pete Carroll, he's such a my guys dude, right? Like with, Chris Carson, even with a first round rookie running back, Chris Carson fumbled like 4 times in 2 games and he still didn't swap them out. He had a golden opportunity to swap them out if that's what ownership and the GM and everybody wanted him to do, and he didn't do it. So, like, he's a loyal guy. Tyler Lockett's been there a long time. I just have a hard time believing that JSN needs to be amazing for a old school Pete Carroll type coach to say, you take a seat, Tyler, because this guy needs to have your job and you have to have a smaller job. I don't foresee Pete Carroll doing that unless JSN blows the doors completely off.
I mean, which he still can do. Like, I'm fine. I'm still fine drafting him. He's going to go cheaper, which is going to be great. It's going to be great for my bags. Getting him like probably another round after where he was going, which is great. So I'm still willing to bet on the talent.
What just happened?
I don't know.
We lost Kevin.
Yeah, but look, the thing about bet on the talent is it's easier to do that when the other guys aren't talented. Like Tyler Lockett's awesome. DK Metcalf is just a totally different player. So that's a different argument. It's like I don't foresee a world where the 2 wide receiver sets are Tyler Lockett and JSN. So it really does boil down to JSN versus Lockett. And I don't know, could get a little dicey there, but I think Lockett's going to be just fine. Or maybe they just use 3 wide receiver sets the whole time.
What I was going to say is that, they attempted the 6th most passing attempts last season because it was Geno Smith's first year. It was the offensive coordinator's first year. Now in that second year, and with drafting Charbonnet, I really think that they might dial that back, and that eats into any opportunity that he has as well. So there are too many red flags. I'm not sold on him. Love the talent, love him for Dynasty, but this year I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, enough about JSN. Let's talk about how good my team is. So honestly, Christian McCaffrey. So that's the real question: is for taking Christian McCaffrey or Jefferson or Chase. I honestly think it's plenty close enough. If you're one of the fragility people that will always draft a wide receiver, you'll always take Jefferson. But if you're just a normal person who thinks, who doesn't really factor that kind of thing in, you got to pick CMC or Jefferson. And I think really thinking about who might be there at the turn is important because, regardless of who I took in the first round, it probably would have been similar people there. I mean, maybe if I had gone Jefferson and Gingerbeard had gone CMC, he doesn't take Stevenson there, but it's the same group of guys. Pollard goes, Henry goes, and you're looking at Stevenson, Josh Jacobs, reaching on Mixon, reaching on Gibbs. I mean, I don't know if I love the running backs there, so I kind of like going CMC and then just going wide receivers. What do you think, Brett?
I think CMC has a super high ceiling. What I will say is that when Elijah Mitchell was healthy, he kind of did eat into a little bit of that workload. CMC seemed to get the targets and Mitchell got the rushing work. Am I sold that Mitchell's going to stay healthy? Not exactly. But in the off chance that he is, that could eat into CMC's workload. And in that case, I would rather take Jefferson or Chase.
Yeah,
but I get your strategy.
He did just return to practice. He had an adductor strain, so he was out. I mean, dude, what's with the adductor strains over there?
Him and Kittle.
Kittle also had one, so I don't know, dude. They must be hitting the what is the groin? That's like the groin area, right? The adductor.
It is, I believe.
They must be hitting that like groin machine hard, dude.
Yeah, sorry about that. My computer kind of whacked out here, but we back. We're talking about just CMC, just being the first overall pick? I missed the part.
That's what we're doing here. If I get the first overall pick in the draft coming up after this, the next show we're doing a best ball draft on Underdog Fantasy. If I get the number 1 pick in that, I'm gonna go Jefferson because I think in best ball I like that a little bit better. And honestly, if you want to draft with us, this draft is now full. We filled it up during the chat here. In fact, might have given Britt's spot away. That's something we'll talk about later. But but we do love Underdog is where we do all our best ball drafts. It's the best format. It's the cleanest interface. If you want to draft with us over there, we're doing drafts all week. We're doing one right after this from 2 to 3. Me, Howard Bender, Britt, whole bunch of people, maybe not Britt. Tomorrow we're doing another one 2 to 3, and then Thursday another one 2 to 3. If you want to draft with us, use promo code ALARM, and they'll match up to $100. 100% of you deposit. They've got not just drafts with us, but they've got the biggest tournaments of all time, Best Ball Mania 4, where you win like millions of dollars. Is the main prize is like $2 million, or is it
three? And the regular season is $1 million.
$3 million. And regular season winner gets $1 million. So if you don't even come in first, you can win $1 million, dude. So use that promo code and also join us in the Fantasy Alarm Discord. For the drafts on Wednesday and Thursday, we're still only taking people that haven't done drafts with us. Sorry, Hamburglar and Voico and Icy Through, who have done $1 million with us.
Don't let sellers in.
Sellers definitely not allowed in. But first come, first serve. So if you're signing up for the first time, tag me, Howard, Britt on Twitter, Kev, and let us know you signed up first and you want in. You get first come, first serve, and then we're going to let everybody jump in and fill it out after. But we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to draft with the family. So we're doing a bunch of these this week before we get into real drafts next week. So promo code ALARM on Underdog. Get down with the get down. We're doing it 3 days in a row. Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's go.
Yep. Just to tack onto the whole CMC thing. Like, he played 80% of snaps every single game with the Carolina Panthers for weeks 1 through 6. Now I think it was San Francisco 1, 2, 3 games over 80% of the snaps. I'm not particularly interested in CMC at the 101 just because there's so many mouths to feed, and then he's got to be efficient on top of that if he's only getting 75 to 80% of the snaps. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about with CMC. I mean, if anybody can be as efficient with a reduced kind of snap load, it can be him. But
yeah, he's gonna be.
I'm worried.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. There's concern.
So yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, how far can you really move him? Is there another back you would take at 1 overall? Either of you guys, or like, is there another back that you would take as your RB1?
I'm just going to tell you, in the Queen's Classic at the Expo, CMC fell all the way to like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
I know. Lisa Ann got an amazing deal on that.
Yeah, that was insane that he fell that far. But I think that just tells everybody that concern for his workload, and again, that injury is still at the forefront of everybody's minds.
I'm just asking you guys, like, what if the draft starts 9 straight wide receivers and Travis Kelce, and you're on the clock? Which running back are you taking? They're all available.
CMC.
What about you, Britt?
I really like Bijan. I'm sorry, I can't get off Bijan.
Britt has Bijan as her RB1.
I just can't get away.
Flip it,
can't
tweet
get
it.
away from it.
So Bijan's your RB1 this year, huh?
Just can't. I think that the upside there is too good to not chase.
I mean, it is great. It is great. I mean, like, even the guy from the Athletics said that Tyler Algier is still going to get like 170 touches or whatever, but he predicted Bijan to get 300. So, you know, it's a matter of that's just going to be a super run heavy team.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally make the qualms with having Bijan at 101. I mean, I have Tony Pollard as my RB2, so there you go.
That's something.
That's not bad though. Like, I think that Pollard's fine.
I think that, like, if you want to go, I have CMC at 1. I don't mind Bijan at 2 or 3, especially with, I'm a little worried about Eckler. And I'm just happy getting guys like Saquon and Chubb. I kind of like picking towards the end of the draft, since Saquon could easily be the RB1. Nick Chubb, honestly, if you look at pretty much every sports book, they have him as the favorite to lead the league in rushing yards. And now there's no Kareem Hunt, so he can catch passes as well. The crowd, I just feel like there's a huge crowd of people that were like, well, if Kareem Hunt wasn't there, and now Kareem Hunt's gone, and those people, they're not coming out of the woodwork to say, oh, well, I like this guy now. They were just haters all along. right? They were just coming up with an excuse to hate all along, and now that their excuse is gone, I don't really know what the excuse is. What is the excuse now?
Well, the excuse was Kareem Hunt caught passes. Now the excuse is, well, Chubb can't catch passes.
So that was the thing the whole time, is that Kareem Hunt did not earn targets. Targets are not earned. They were defaulted to Kareem Hunt because Chubb can't catch passes. Even though when Kareem Hunt was not with the team, like when Kareem Hunt was suspended, Nick Chubb was on pace for 75 receptions. But not a big deal. I wouldn't think too hard about that. I just know that I love guys like Barkley and Chubb because I don't need to pay up for them. Right.
Yeah.
Fair. If Sellers wouldn't have taken him right in front of me, I would have taken Chubb. I love him right there at that turn.
So if you're picking in the late, the thing is Pollard, Chubb, Barkley, they never make it past the halfway point of the second round. So those are guys where if I'm picking the second half, I just say whoever's there, bingo, but don't care. Let me get him. Devontae, there's a world where going Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams, it just gets you Saquon Barkley and Devontae Adams, and your team is great.
Yep.
It's possible.
I love it.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, gang. Well, we're up against it. I know. Alarm Fantasy Football coming up in just mere minutes. So stay tuned right here for that. Anything else on these airwaves, Britt and Coop, before we head on over there? Or you guys head on over there?
Well, for those of you in a bazillion leagues like we are, go check out my article about how to manage too many fantasy leagues on Fantasy Alarm.
Coop,
I use promo code Alarm. That's my point. We got to jump over to that one. Kev, why don't you? The person I was waiting on did not end up joining. So why don't you? Why don't you potentially jump in and draft with us?
Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's jump over.
All right. Well, we are going to head on out of here. Join us, Alarm Fantasy Football, top of the hour. Kevin Tompkins, Britt Flinn, Andrew Cooper,